I'm trying to move past it, but it is something that I feel like the platform should make it some type of way where these people making these profiles have to provide some type of information. You shouldn't be walking around doing stuff like this to be able to hide behind it. Maybe you're in a position that you have a career where you're interacting with people. You shouldn't be able to interact with people like that without going through some type of repercussions and growth after making statements like that.
Hmm.
Alexander Mattison.
Yeah.
He recently, as of the Thursday night game, had been hurled uh, racial slurs and racist comments, and he has tried to ignore them. But you can only, again, like I said in last week's episode, you can only go through so much without being held accountable and being disrespected.
Correct.
Uh, Alexander Madison on Instagram has been hurled racial slurs, and they can't find who's responsible for it. And he thinks that there should be a bigger accountability on that behalf, and I definitely agree with him. There should
Definitely.
be a bigger accountability for that. And even in the stadium where he played, people in the field in the stands was like, I hope you tear your ACL. You might go ahead
Just
and just commit suicide.
hateful.
Yeah, you might just go ahead and commit suicide. Things like that.
Mhm.
And these types of comments, you have to be careful. And that's what and most people don't care because they don't think they're going to get caught.
Correct.
They think that, oh, I can make these comments and I'm untouchable. But you are touchable. It just has to be the right people.
Yep.
Because a lot of people don't want
Definitely.
that. A lot of people don't want that representing their company at the same time. And Alexander Madison is one of those guys. It's like, okay, we need accountability behind these profiles, because they're coming on to Instagram making all kinds of racial slurs, racial comments that, can really break somebody at the end of the day. It could really break somebody down when something like that happens, and nothing is happening at the end of the day. So I'm
Right.
with Alexander Madison when it comes
Me
down
too.
to, there really needs to be an accountability level on the behalf of, information needed to be had when it comes down to these social media platform information, because, having to deal with this, and you're talking to people, if you have a career and you're talking to people, but you're going behind, you know social media to make your disrespectful and rude ass comments, kind of just make you think, where do we go with this? It's one of those things where it's just like you make a comment, you don't care how they feel, but then you turn right around with your hypocrisy and act like that you really care. But at the end of the
Exactly.
day, all it takes is for you to actually show your true colors when it comes down to it. And that's where the most of this hypocrisy come from. A lot of people would say, oh, this is not what I meant, or this is not how I meant it. And that's exactly what gaslighting is.
Mhm.
Trying to make it, especially somebody like Alexander Madison, to try to make it seem like that, oh, this is not something that we met, for you to be hurt or anything like that. But yet and still, your intentions was to hide behind social media so you wouldn't get caught, but to be able to say the things that you want to say and hurt somebody intentionally without thinking that you were not going to be caught at the same time. And that, friends, is where we have an issue. This is where it needs to be talked about. Where do we draw the line with people being able to make these comments, hide behind social media, but then come out from social media into the real world and talk like you really give a damn at the end of the day? Where do we draw the line with that? One thing is, when we have this situation, we don't know how to initially react to people that think that has their best interest, that have our best interest at heart, but at the end of the day, don't. We don't know who has our best interest at heart. We don't know who's going behind social media to spread a bunch of crap. In other words, from Coach Sanders' bull junk. We don't know where that's coming from. Okay, we don't know who's doing it and how can we, uh, draw attention to it. And like Alexander Madison said, bring some repercussions and some growth on that behalf. And that's absolutely true. We need growth. How are we going to be able to grow if we don't know what we're doing wrong? Or even if you do know what is going on, where are the repercussions behind the fact that, you could lose your job for, going on and spreading a bunch of bull junk that you think is cool? This shit ain't cool. It's not cool. You have to get to a point when you know that if you're going to spread a bunch of bull junk, you're going to have to be able to face the repercussions behind that. I was brought to an attention to the fact that, there was a certain position that I didn't want to work. What would be the repercussions behind it? I'm going to be honest with you. With that type of repercussions, I don't give a damn.
There you go.
There is no repercussions for me behind that.
Right.
I just don't give a damn. Because when I feel like that there is a control freak come into the picture, I'm not going to deal with that. On this behalf of Alexander Mattison is a whole nother type of different repercussion. Because if you're going to go behind the microphone like this right here, or you're going to go behind the keyboard like this here, but you're going on social media and you're talking a whole bunch of bull junk and trying to intentionally hurt somebody, where's the repercussion behind that? Didn't we just talk about this last week?
Yes.
Where's the repercussions behind the punishments of people that allegedly would think that it's okay to talk all this junk? Who thinks that this is right? That is to be able to go and talk all of this. It just don't make sense. Where's the growth behind that? If you didn't know that, fine. We'll have to take your word face value. But at the end of the day, you can only do it so much afterwards before you start getting repercussions. So if it's your first time doing it, oh yeah, okay. We can show you some growth. But if you continue to do it, it's no longer growth. Now it's what repercussions time. Now it's time to start holding you accountable for it at the end of the day. And that's what most people tend to just kind of just like overlook. Oh, we're beyond growing now. We're beyond growing because we don't want to grow. We want to continue to do what we do, but then as soon as the repercussions hit, now you want to do the growing. And it's half-ass backwards. Grow. Not have to worry about the repercussions. But instead, people want to go and do these things and not think about the repercussions, but then want to go grow when the repercussions catches up to them. Don't work that way. You should be able to grow first without even having to think twice about it. But most people don't want to grow. Most people want to continue to be hateful. Most people want to go behind social media and just go off the rim, not giving a damn about somebody's feelings, not giving a damn about somebody's thought process, especially their mental health, and decide that they're just going to go do anything that they can to make sure that they hurt somebody. Darren, not being funny, just recently, I just saw a news article that had nothing to do with sports, but a black dude in high school getting suspended for 2 weeks because of his dreadlocks or his locks or his twisties. As soon as he came back to school with that same freaking hairstyle, guess what they did? They suspended him again. For what? It's a damn hairstyle. What are we doing? Are you really discriminating? Oh, it has nothing to do with that type of ordeal. It has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with anything, but you can't give a logical reason for the reason why you keep suspending him because he got dreadlocks or he got twisties or he got lockies or in his hair. Where's the repercussion behind that? His repercussion for wanting to wear dreads, which is something that black people mostly would do, is wear dreadlocks or lockies or twisties. Are you punishing him for being black? Is that the repercussion? You want to give a repercussion for a black guy wearing dreadlocks, but you're not going to give a repercussion for anything that happens behind social media. For anything that may allegedly have happened with racial comments, with people trying to hide behind their little facade and thinking that they're real cute and thinking that they could be able to do things and not get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line?
Mm-hmm.
You have repercussions on one side and then you have repercussions on the other side. One side of the repercussions don't seem right. You got the other side of the repercussions that should feel right, but it isn't at the end of the day, because what they're doing is getting away with it. But then when you find out who they really are, and they got these nice ass jobs that they got, and they done lost it, now they want to go crying and playing the victim. Again, ladies and gentlemen, gaslighting. Trying to play the victim for something that you did, and you thought it was cool to do it because you didn't think you were going to get caught because you was hiding behind your social media facade. What Alexander Mattison is doing, it's going to eventually come out. Somebody's going to get caught for it. Even though it's 60, it's going to happen. January 6th. As many as those people should have been put in jail that night, they going out and finding everybody. Where was the repercussions for then? There was no repercussions. It wasn't until after the fact. Oh, now we need to grow. Now we need to do this. Now we need to do that. Oh, it wasn't even thinking nothing like that when you decided the repercussions that you had. The repercussion is your jobs. The law, the written law. For real? Forget about the fact that, most people are good accountants or whatever they are that they have a good job for, but now they want to go and cry when they get caught because they think they are part of a victim when they're not. That's part of your repercussion for being stupid. You got your thought process?
Firstly, before I even get into that, I'm just going to say that if anybody's going to keep me clean from cussing, it's Coach Prime.
Mm-hmm.
When he uses the term bull junk, I love it. That makes you want to turn clean, but I ain't there yet.
No, I ain't nowhere near that.
I ain't there
yet. Because you
didn't
see I just spit it out a few afterwards.
Yeah. I just had to put that out there. That's the best word you can use that's non-expressive is saying bull junk.
Mm-hmm.
Junk, eating junk, all of that. It's bull junk. It's
what
bull
you eat,
junk.
It's what you eat.
It's what digest. Exactly. And what you spill out is junk too.
And what you read can be
junk too. Exactly. So I just wanted to put that out there. So with this, we got Alexander Mattison. In that Thursday night game, he rushed the ball 8 times for only 28 yards. And if it's correct, I believe he probably lost the football 4 times. I think.
I think
it was 4 times.
That's a lot of turnovers.
Well, what I mean to say is that he lost the football 4 times. If that's the case, because I don't think that's accurate. He could have lost it twice because I know the Vikings lost the football 4 times. I just don't know how many times he was responsible for those fumbles. I want to say it was all 4, but that do not give an excuse for anybody to make those type of racist comments. And at the end of the day, Alexander Mattison is going to be held accountable for the way that he played Thursday night. He's going to be held accountable, regardless to the sentiment of how bad it was. He's going to do that. Nobody else in their right mind will not make the same decision by making racial disgusting comments. That's just a low ball to any black person that has a bad performance. Lamar Jackson played bad week 1. I ain't hearing nobody talk crazy about him. Now, I'm not saying that in a general sense because he's a well-paid athlete and a star football player, but I'm just saying that because Alexander Mattison is no Lamar Jackson. He should be treated the same way. He just should be treated the same way. That's just a venting point, just to make a point, but it really didn't have nothing to do with what you was talking about. But the whole thing is that we have tried millions and millions of times to try to, be more respectful to a lot of people. All right.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, we're sitting here and these, you know, white people will continue to, or whoever, hiding behind their little social media accounts, making these injustice comments is really just taking away, in my personal opinion, all the fun in football or any sport. If you have to take it that damn seriously. Seriously. Yeah, it's a football game. Why are y'all making racial slurs? Why are y'all making racist comments?
That's
Why
what
do
they
you feel it's that important to sit there and make these stupid assessments? Why are you
because
making them?
they believe that this is what they've been doing all their life and they can get away with it, and it sucks.
It sucks. It's rightfully so. It sucks. And who knows? Can Alexander Mattison go out here and do better and perform better? You're damn right he might. He might. Would that be feeling motivation for him? Maybe. Will that drain him mentally? Of course. Of course. But at the end of the day, that's just unacceptable. That's not good at all. This is never good. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
And to verify what you said about the fumbles, Alexander Madison responsible for zero. He did not get a fumble at all in that game. Kirk Cousins, Brandon Powell. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Oh yeah,
You
he
looking at the
did.
wrong game.
No, it is. You're right. Just one.
Okay.
He was responsible for one. Everybody else was responsible for the other one. Kirk Cousins, Brandon Powell, and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah. Go figure. Go figure.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing about sports and entertainment, where this is the reason why I do Darren Snell's, because they still got to live their lives at the end of the day. And I
Absolutely.
think this is where most of I think this is the point in that, you know why are you yelling obscenities towards people on the field when this is just a game? Why do
Right.
you have to take it that seriously to a point where you are shouting that type of obscenities, the type of racist comments, and the hateful comments of saying, "Oh, I just hope that you tear your ACL," and then he has to look over at you to see you doing this. What's the point in that?
Bro.
What's the point in that?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Durham. But that's all I have. Thanks for watching Darren's Notes. I'm Darren Watts. Darren Watts is right across from me.
Yep.
All right, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That'll let us know what you guys like on that behalf of being able to do more content and continue to check out our YouTube videos of gameplay, uh, podcast, Darren's Notes, Darren's Reactions, um, and the audio podcast and clips. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. But thanks for watching. Catch you next time.